everyone, and welcome back to Betty and James Off the Shelves. We are two librarians with a genre fiction addiction, and we're here to talk about all things books.
This is part 2 of our Locus Awards video.
You've come back to our channel, you know what we're talking. We're talking fantasy, we're talking sci-fi, horror, genre fiction, all the goods. And so this is, part 2 of our Locus Awards nominees and winners video, where we tried to read as many nominees as possible for the Locus Awards, and now we're talking about the books that we've read and the books that won.
All of the ones that we didn't talk about in the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
Are in this one.
Yeah. The other sci-fi novels were The Folded Sky, Picks and Shovels, Notes from a Regicide, When We Were Real, All That We See or Seem, Where the Axe is Buried, Slow Gods, The Shattering Peace, and Shroud.
Yes.
So what out of that list have you read?
I've read Shroud by Adrian Tarkovsky and When We Were Real by Daryl Gregory.
And I have read Slow Gods by Claire North, Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Naylor, and All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to talk about some of the books that you've read?
I read Shroud first.
Okay.
I actually thought Shroud was going to win. Based on the 3 that I read, I thought Shroud was going to win because it was really good. I liked it a lot. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's a first contact novel about a couple scientists who get trapped on this moon of a planet that has 0 light. Like, it's completely lightless. And on that planet, there exists this hive. It's kind of like a hive mind alien that lives without light because, like, it hasn't evolved with light, so it has a different perspective on everything. I found it really interesting because it was swapping between the perspective of one of the 2 scientists that were trapped on the planet and the hive mind.
Oh, that's cool.
It was
I like that.
done really well.
So are you seeing the perspective of the hive mind also interacting with these humans for the first time?
The whole thing is about how they're interacting with each other, because the humans don't really understand that it's a hive mind, because how could they? And the hive mind doesn't really understand that they're separate people. And one of them, so much of their perspective is based on vision, and the other one, their perspective is vision is fully foreign to them. And I found that really, really interesting. There was also an element of this book where he explores what it's like to be kind of at the bottom of a totalitarian government.
I think that he explores that in many of his novels.
Yeah, it's clearly a thing that he is interested in.
Yeah.
And that landed really well as like a side, for me, as like a side piece that he was exploring, while also exploring this relationship between 2 types of beings that just see the world in such a completely different way. And particularly the ways that they've misunderstood each other throughout the novel, particularly since you can see both perspectives, were the most interesting parts to me. It's
so very classic sci-fi.
Yeah, very classic hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, both books are really good. This one is the sci-fi one that I've read. Yeah. It's just over 400 pages. So it's like, it's not short, but it doesn't feel like it's wasting its time there.
That's good.
It feels like everything that's in the book is something that should be there.
Yeah.
And I gave it a 4 out of 5 because I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Cool. And you gave Death of the Author 4.5.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Because I did prefer it. So yeah, but I did think that Shroud was going to win when I just read my 3. I was like,
totally,
this one's the best one.
Totally. And so which other one did you read?
I read When We Were Real by Daryl Gregory. This was okay. It was an existential road trip about, it's like people and AI live in this world where it gets announced that it's a simulation.
Yeah.
And so they kind of go on this bus trip to see these glitches that they call impossibles. It was fine. I think that there was some good moments in this book. Ultimately, though, I did have to force myself through it. I don't think this is one that I would have naturally finished if I weren't reading it for the challenge.
Okay.
Because I'm a pretty heavy DNFer. I stop reading books pretty quickly if they're not really catching me. So I did kind of force myself to get through this one. I think there were a few too many characters, few too many storylines for me. I found that, and some of them kind of fell a bit flat, where there were a lot of interesting scenes, but it didn't flow for me as a whole narrative. I still gave it a 3. Like, I thought it was fine. It's too long as well. For 450 pages, it didn't need to be that long.
Right, okay.
Yeah, particularly since there was too many characters.
I wonder if it suffered from the too many characters, like, and, you know, when you have too many characters and then they're all a bit one note.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine. I also don't love books about AI.
There were, I'll be honest, a lot of books about AI this year. The ones that I'm about to talk about, I think literally every single one of them had an AI component.
Yeah, because even Death of the Author had AI in her book.
Yeah.
The one that she wrote.
Yes, it did.
She wrote Rusted Robots. It's about AI, but I think that one landed though.
Okay, so I read Slow Gods by Claire North. I did not read it as part of this challenge. I had already read it.
Yeah.
It's about a character who, I'll give a very brief overview, who is arrested for like sedition, and as part of that arrest, when you're traveling through space, you travel through this area of space that really mucks with your mind and with your body and with time, space, continuum, etc., etc. I'm being very vague, but and as part of the travel, they have pilots, and the pilots connect with the ships to help guide them through. Most pilots, after going through this, will like go crazy and die.
Okay.
So, but this one character, that does not happen.
Okay.
For reasons that are discussed throughout the book.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was an interesting concept. There's also a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on. That's just sort of like the main character.
That's the umbrella.
That's the umbrella of what's happening.
Yeah. Right.
I liked it. I think I gave it a 3 or a 3.5.
Okay.
It was a little bit forgettable for me. Not as strong as some of the other books that I read in the category.
Yeah, right, okay.
An interesting concept, but wasn't like as fantastic as I thought that it was going to be.
Sure, it sounds interesting.
It is interesting, and there's like the slow, which is this sort of sentient, omnipotent being, organization, who basically starts off the whole story because they send a message to this planet that this person's living on, being like, I'm going to muck it up, I think it's like in 100 years, this comet is going to hit Earth, and everyone's going to die. And that sort of starts off the whole thing. Okay. And so the slow is this, omnipotent thing that interacts with this pilot. No one can quite tell if they're good or bad. Yeah. Okay. I'm being, super vague about this.
No, I think I'm following.
Yeah. It was an interesting premise. I think that the execution left a little bit to be desired. Okay. Just in that I was like, it had the potential to be super powerful and it didn't quite hit that mark for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the short story, The Jaunt?
No.
It's a Stephen King short story that's it's like a horror sci-fi short story, but it's kind of like a similar thing where you have it's kind of like a faster than light travel. Yeah. But you have to be asleep for it, and every now and then someone would like accidentally wake up and it would make them go insane.
Yes. Yeah. It was very much that.
Yeah, just
what was happening to the people. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Right. So interesting concept. Don't know that the execution was quite there for it. Okay. I also read Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Naylor, which I really enjoyed. So that one is it's told from multiple perspectives. Essentially what has happened is all of the governments, or the majority of the governments in the world, have replaced their prime ministers with like an AI entity that is ostensibly supposed to make all of the right decisions to help the most amount of people. But but through a bunch of people doing the wrong thing, maybe the right thing, you sort of have to decide.
Yeah, okay.
The PM starts to make... PM bot starts to make the wrong decisions or is like let
Okay.
loose from its like cage of being the Prime Minister.
Yeah, okay.
And it's also told alongside, so this is like all of the, I would say the Western countries have this like AI Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And then a country that I believe is based on like Russia or the USSR.
Yeah.
They don't have that. But what they do have is a prime minister or a leader who they sort of keep taking the same brain or like cognizance or personality
Okay. Yep.
and
right.
putting it into new bodies.
So it's just like the
to be
same.
like, we have a new person in charge. It's the same
It's
person.
like the same dude.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting exploration of like,
Right.
government and who's in charge and who we let be in charge and who we let make the decisions for us. And then also about how people might seem like they're doing the wrong thing, but there's like a bigger plan at play. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. I really liked it. I really want to read more of Ray Naylor's books. I think
Sure.
I gave that one a 4 or 4.5.
Okay.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And then the last book that I read was All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu.
Okay. Yeah. No, not it.
I didn't love it. I thought that I was going to love it. I think that he's done a lot of translation work and he's also done a lot of like his own novels. It was very much, I was being told, like, you know how they like show, don't tell?
Yeah.
I was being told.
Okay.
And it was very, there was no pretense with the writing. It was very plain writing. It's about somebody who is sort of like a very paranoid technophobe, like doesn't want to be caught in like facial scanners, doesn't want to be on the like AI network, has her own like robots, her own AI network. She gets caught up in this missing persons case that then becomes clear that it's like way bigger than just a normal missing persons case.
Yeah.
But I think that it was trying to do too much. I think what happened in it is two separate stories really are being told. The main character is sort of the connecting thread between the two stories, but it could have been, honestly, two separate books.
It probably is two separate stories.
I think it is two separate stories, and I honestly think that it suffered. I'm not talking about the second story because it sort of is a real like left turn close to the end of the book that you're like, whoa, where has this come from? But I think it probably suffered from having two such disparate stories trying to be merged into the one story. And I understand why the author has chosen to do it that way, but I don't think that the execution was as good as I was hoping that it would be. I went into it thinking I was reading one story and then it ended up being a completely different story. And I wasn't invested in the characters.
Also probably means that it wasn't well enough set up.
Yeah, I think, you're probably right. Like, they introduce a character who becomes much bigger later on.
It wasn't well, like, foreshadowed.
Yeah, and I just was like, oh, okay, this is
where we are
This
now.
is the story now.
Yeah, okay.
I think it could have been, very easily could have been two separate books, and they would have been great books, but they would have been
better
for being separated.
What did you end up giving it?
I think I gave it a 3.
Okay, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah. I was...
Okay.
It was a bit of a slog, I think, because of the plain writing. It was just like, this person did this. And then you're told how they feel about everything. Like, nothing is left to you to be like, I wonder how this person's feeling about what's going on. It's like, this is how they felt. It's like, oh, okay. Well...
Is it third person?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That bothers me more on third person than first person as well.
Yeah.
Because in first person, you can kind of get away with it a bit more.
Yes, it's like, I felt sad or whatever. It was like...
Yeah.
Nope, she was sad.
She was sad.
She was stressed. I just was like, wow,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just being told everything, and that's fine.
That's like one of the main tenets of fiction as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and maybe that's like his style of writing. It's very like plain language, very like blah, 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 blah. But it's not my favorite, and I probably wouldn't pick up another book of his in haste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other fantasy novels that have been nominated was The Devils, The Tomb of Dragons, Lessons in Magic and Disaster, A Drop of Corruption, The Raven Scholar, Hemlock and Silver, Catabasis, which we learned.
Which we know how to say.
That's how you say it. We went and saw R.F. Kwong talk, and it's
Twice.
Catabasis,
Yeah.
The Incandescent, and Queen Demon.
Yes, okay.
A lot of sequels in this list.
And I didn't read any sequels.
I didn't read any sequels. I tried to read standalones only.
Yes, standalones only.
But I would say I'm looking 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 3 sequels.
3
out
sequels
of the 10.
out of the 10.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of sequels.
I guess it's part of the genre.
It is, yeah.
But, you know.
I do think it's interesting though to like, I mean, not that I'm against it, but nominating a sequel for an award, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
You see it a lot in fantasy.
Yes, you do.
It would be hard not to, I think, sometimes. But yeah, it does make it a little bit harder to get to like read them.
Yes.
Because then you have to read the first book.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about what
Yeah.
ones you have read?
Because I read Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. I read Catabasis.
Catabasis.
Oh my God. Catabasis, which I still haven't learned how to say apparently.
Yeah.
And The Raven Scholar. I liked Hemlock and Silver.
Okay.
I thought that was really good. It's a Snow White retelling, which
Yes.
it's kind of hidden that it's a Snow White
Yeah.
retelling. Like, if you didn't tell me, I'd be like, oh yeah, she's taken some themes from Snow White, some names. That's about it. There are no dwarves. No dwarves.
No, there aren't.
No dwarves.
No.
I really enjoyed this one though. It was a first person, and I felt very connected to the main character.
Yeah.
I found her very interesting. I found her perspective really interesting. I enjoyed like the wit and like the kind of brand of humor that
I think that T. Kingfisher is a witty writer.
Yes, she is, and I find that lands for me. The way that she tells it. And interestingly, I found the romance in it really quite fun. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yes. I have also read this book.
Yeah. Sometimes with these kinds of books where the romance is a bit tacked on, it can be a little too tacked on. I actually thought this landed very, very well.
I agree.
And she did a really good job of seeding it throughout. What did you think of it?
I liked it. I think I have a thing with T. Kingfisher's books where I like them more for what they... I don't know. Sometimes it's not that they don't quite land. Maybe the execution is just a little bit off where I would be like, oh my God, I would give this a 5-star. I would give this 5 stars. And I can't quite put my finger on why I didn't give it 5 stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked this a lot. I've read almost all of T. Kingfisher's
Yeah, I've read a
books.
lot of T. Kingfisher's books as well.
And I will keep going back to them even though there's this weird... I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
No, I definitely know what you mean, because I wouldn't give anything I've read from them 5.
Yes.
But I enjoy everything I read
Yes,
from
and
them.
I'm always going to read
Yeah, and
the
I'm
next
like, oh,
ones
this
that
seems
come
good.
out.
And
Yes.
then I'll read it, and I'll be like, that was fun.
I feel like she's a really solid writer.
Yes.
And she always gives me what I want, which is romance. And an interesting female main character.
Yeah, and this main character was particularly interesting. I liked this main character a lot.
Yes.
I gave this a 4.
Okay, yeah, I would probably give it the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a bit longer than a lot of the stuff that I've read from her. It was like 350 pages.
Yeah, I think she does a lot of novella work.
She does,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But yeah, I would recommend it if you want to see sort of that fairy tale-ish retelling, but much more grounded in with a main character that feels very, very real.
Very real. She does write her main characters very... I'm like, wow, they're so realistic.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I also liked that it was sort of a Snow White retelling with a bit of a slanted take on it, and also with a character that is not...
Yeah, to be fair...
You're entering the Snow White myth from...
a completely different angle.
Yes.
I will say, if I didn't know it was a Snow White retelling, I probably would have missed it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I probably would have missed it completely.
Yeah.
There's some apples.
There's apples. There's a girl named Snow.
Yeah, there's a girl named Snow.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shall we talk about Catabasis? Because
Yes,
we've both read that.
Yeah.
What did you think of Catabasis?
It was okay. Funnily enough, because we saw R.F. Kuang speak, yes. I think I got as much out of listening to her speak, if not more, about this book than actually reading this book.
I would agree.
It's part of her dark academia duology.
Yeah, this is how she refers to it as a dark academia duology. They're not connected. No. Babel and Catabasis are not connected books, but that's how she describes them.
They're connected in the sense I don't know how to pronounce either of the titles. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Pretty much the concept is these two postgraduates in the 80s, they go to hell to retrieve their awful supervisor who died. And hell is kind of similar. It's like based off of almost like a Dante hell,
yes.
But it's also a massive campus. It's like Cambridge.
Yes, yeah. So the premise is that hell is different for everybody that experiences it. But because these two people are postgrads at Cambridge, hell looks like a university campus.
Yeah.
Yes, So their circles of hell are the titles are still the same, but it's iterations of different areas.
Like greed
of the campus.
is a part of the campus rather than just like regular.
Yes,
what you would expect from
and
greed.
all of the other people that are in there are also scholars.
Yeah, they're university people.
Yeah.
Look, this is kind of an issue I have with all of her books. She's not much for subtlety in her message. This one I think is like as bad as it gets in terms of like the message is that there's issues with academia and she just like beats the crap out of you with that. Like the whole book is them just going through like, academia sucks because of these reasons. Again and again and again.
I don't know if I necessarily like. I think that she explores a lot of themes. She loves a theme.
She loves a theme
in her books. And I feel like, so in terms of the duology, I feel like Babel really explored racism and colonialism, specifically in academia and also just in history in general. Catabasis really explored sexism.
Yes.
And
student-teacher relationships.
So she's definitely working through some themes in her books.
She is. I do think Babel landed a lot better.
I preferred Babel to this.
I really liked Babel. Like, Babel was very good for me the year I read it. And the magic system here I found interesting, but only to a point. Because it's about, what do they call, contradictions? No.
Paradoxes. Yeah.
Paradoxes. You effectively create a paradox.
And then that's where the magic comes from.
That's where the magic comes from.
Yeah.
Where in Babel it was translation.
Yes.
Where you have a word, you translate it into another language, and the meaning that is lost is the magical effect.
Yes.
Which I do think was more interestingly applied.
I think that she enjoys like exploring different, she's very creative in the way that she comes up with her magic system.
Very creative.
What did you give it out of 5?
I gave it 2.5.
Whoa! Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I also found the villains to be very tacked on. Because there is kind of a villain. But it felt like she was writing in hell and it's like, there are no stakes here.
Yeah.
And then had to like bring
Create
some stakes in, but it didn't really land for me. I didn't really ever see them as an interesting threat. It like the issues in the book
were
all...
Is that the two magicians? Yeah,
the Crypt Keys.
Yeah.
The issues in the book were always the ones that the main character Alice and the main character Peter were experiencing inside their heads, inside their own bodies in Peter's case.
Yeah.
So it did not land for me, and I think that this book could have been like 200 pages shorter.
It was quite long.
It's over 550 pages, and it just didn't need to be that long.
Yeah, I think that I would agree.
What did you give it?
I gave it 3.5.
Okay. So you liked it more than me?
I liked it, I think, more than you, but it's definitely, I think it has its flaws, and I would prefer Babel, I would say, if you're gonna...
Yeah.
But I will say, I do think that is a pretty common experience.
Okay. For people reading this book?
I feel like I have read a couple of reviews where people are like, I liked Babel more,
Yeah.
which maybe is like that's a hard thing to then
That is
be
hard.
like.
Babel's very good.
Yes, but like I've written two things and they're two very different things, but because of the way that I have like packaged them as this like dark academia duology, like people will always compare and contrast.
They do feel very similar inherently though.
Yeah,
because they're both like that campus thing.
Yeah.
They both have that kind of interesting magic system
Yes.
that's very rooted in like study and academia.
Yeah.
They kind of explore similar kinds of characters. So I can, like, even if she didn't package them up as a duology, I think they're inherent. It's obvious that they are.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. It's good that you liked it, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did like
Better
it,
than me, at least.
but yeah, I definitely preferred Babel.
Yeah. I just think there's like half a good book in there for me.
Yeah.
I think about half is good and about half is just like, okay.
Yeah.
You're still walking through hell. Okay.
Yeah.
We're in this next section.
And I feel like a lot of the length was to give space to explore the like issues that were coming up mentally for the characters, or like their memories that were being dredged up by like certain areas that they were in.
Yeah.
But
then we spent so long in each of those circles.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I also read-ish The Raven Scholar.
Read-ish.
This was the only one I didn't finish. I DNF'd it about halfway through because I really wasn't enjoying myself.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't like it at all. Because I don't really rate books before I finish them if they're a DNF. If I had to rate what I've read up to this point, I'd be giving it like a 1.5.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I genuinely really did not connect with the main character at all. I find there's a specific trope in fantasy where everyone kind of hates the main character because they're like smarter than you.
Yeah.
And that bothers the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I don't
and that's
like
what was
that.
happening in here.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And there is some classism there as well.
Yeah.
Not some. There's a lot of classism there, but it just like it wasn't landing for me. Like there's a murder mystery happening in it as well, which is like there's a lot of different plot lines. There's like a political thing, there's an end of the world thing, there's a murder mystery, there's a lot happening here.
Ambitious.
But I don't think any one of them is really doing what it says it's going to do that well.
Yeah.
I also found the Emperor so frustrating.
Okay.
Because he's just like maddeningly inconsistent.
Okay.
This isn't a spoiler. This is the first scene of the book, right? This is the first chapter. This just is like a microcosm of why I really don't like this book. There are two twins who are the children of someone who tried to usurp the current emperor. But their family has effectively been pardoned and they're like 16 and they're going to the emperor and he's going to like assign them what's effectively like a university path.
Yeah.
For some reason, the emperor decides to defer his decision making about them because they find out that the sister of the two kept her father's, like some of her father's stuff, and he was a traitor. So it's like, you've kept the stuff of a traitor.
Right, okay.
And instead of being like, I'm going to hand down a punishment, he went to her brother and was like, what do you think we should do? And he was like, we should torture her for 18 months. And then they do.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
They torture and kill her for 18 months. And it's like, that makes no sense. Why is that in this book?
Yeah.
But then the rest of it reads like YA.
Oh, okay.
And it's like,
I wonder, just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to check something. Antonia Hodgson. Oh my Lord. Please hold. Oh no, it's not her first novel.
It's not her first novel. Okay.
No. She's a historical crime writer.
Okay. It's the first of I think it's meant to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Didn't land.
Oh.
I didn't like it. Yeah, it's the
okay.
only one I didn't finish off this because I was just like, I can't with this one.
Oh no.
And it's like 600 pages. It's so long.
It is a hefty, when I saw it, because I borrowed it from the library, just in case either of us needed it.
Yeah. It was a big one.
Yeah. It's
Didn't land.
very, very hefty.
Some people really liked it. I looked it up. Some people really enjoyed it, and I was just like, I can't with this.
Yeah.
I also personally struggle more with second world fantasy than the average fantasy reader. I'm like, I need this to be good if I'm going to have a second world, and I just found it really unconvincing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I might leave that one then.
Yeah. What else did you read?
Okay, so I read The Incandescent by Emily Tesh.
Good.
I love Emily Tesh.
Okay.
Her first book, Some Desperate Glory, loved. Her second book, The Incandescent, loved.
Great.
It's amazing.
That's good.
It's about a teacher at a school, like a magic school, and she's teaching magic to a bunch of the kids. And as part of her job there, she's also like protecting the school from demonic incursions because they use demons as part of their... You good? As part of their magic. So they have to stop the demons from getting into the school. Interesting. While they're using them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I read it a little while ago. I did not read it for this challenge. I read it before.
You read it previously, yeah.
It's so good. Like, I really enjoyed it. I think if you like the Scholomance series by Naomi Novik, any sort of... alternative take on the magic schooling system. If you're interested in that sort of thing, you're going to enjoy this book. Okay. And if you're, wanting an alternative look at a magic system itself, this is a really good, solid book. I think I gave this one 5 stars. So this is one of my 5-star books.
That's good. Yeah. One of your standard 5 stars.
One of my standard 5-star books.
Not 6 stars.
Not a 6-star, but still really good. Really interesting, characters interesting, a story that really moves and does not go in the direction that you are expecting, but not in a way where you're like, where the hell has this come from? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Very
good.
Fascinating, well written, a great jaunt. Yeah, would recommend.
Nice.
Would recommend, absolutely.
Yeah, because I haven't even heard of that author.
Oh, so. I love her.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Love her.
Good to know.
So, other horror novels. Shall we talk about the one that we've both read?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have both read The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig.
Yeah. It didn't land.
It did not land.
I did not care for this book.
I was excited because, you read the Reddit threads about the staircases in the woods that people find, and you're like, ooh,
that's interesting. Like, the concept is actually quite interesting because it's about a group of teenagers who are in the woods. They find a staircase. One of them goes up it and doesn't come back. And then cuts forward to when they're adults.
Like 10 years later or 15
I think it's 15.
Yeah,
it's 10 or 15 years later.
And then one of them finds another staircase, and they get the gang back together to go to this staircase.
It's very much like a standard horror concept. They have like the creepy thing, they have the group of kids, and then they come back later to try and solve what happened when they were kids.
So one of their friends is missing and has been for this entire time.
Yes.
Because he went up the stairs.
It's not good.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Chuck Wendig, it's not good. It's not good. I think I struggled with, there were multiple things I struggled with. I also struggled with the writing style itself. There were a lot of sentences that were like, up the stairs, around the corner, dun 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 dun. I was like...
It kind of felt like he was trying to write jump scenes.
Yes.
Almost. He was... It felt like he was trying to write The Conjuring or like Paranormal Activity, but like it's a book. And
I went into it because I'm not a horror reader, as we discussed in our first video. I don't like to be super scared. It gives me nightmares. And I went into this being like fully expecting to be like really creeped out. But also kind of like looking forward to it. It's that weird thing with horror where you're like, oh, I don't want to be scared, but I kind of do. But then I was not scared. There was, I would say, like maybe one scene that really gave me the heebie-jeebies. And that was the one in the first room that they're in with the girl under the bed.
Sure.
That gave me the heebie-jeebies. But then I was like, you are in like a never-ending haunted house where you're seeing in every room the like how the people that were in that room died, or like putting the pieces together about how they passed away. You can't get out of this house. It has the potential to be super creepy and super and it just was not. It was not giving me that. Did you find the same thing?
Yeah, very much so. It felt like he took a lot of horror like scenes and a lot of horror tropes, put them in a bag, and then they would open a door and he'd just go, what's the next one? What's
and it wasn't particularly, I didn't find it particularly scary.
No,
or things that I was like, oh no, this is about to get really scary. It just like never fell flat, did not deliver.
Yeah, and I felt like the thing with a lot of these horror books is you should care about the relationship between the characters, and I also didn't care about that.
I didn't.
I felt like that was not well explored. It was very surface level kind of engagement. Like, one character was in love with the other character.
Yeah.
She kind of leaves him behind. There's nothing really more than that. It just kind of happens.
I also found her character, Law, I think was her name, very interesting, because there were multiple times where they were having conversations about, like, and she was going off about sexism or like queer phobia or something like that. And I honestly could not tell whether the author was on her side.
Yes, neither could I.
Or placing her as like a ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't understand where we're how we're coming at this.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
No, I fully am like, have you made her unlikable for a reason?
Yes.
Like, is this an intentional thing, or are all of these characters just unlikable?
Yeah.
It didn't land.
Okay. What did you give it? Did you give it a rating?
1.
Yeah. I think I gave it a 2 because I struggle to give 1 star. Maybe I'll give it a 1.
You're less harsh than I am.
I'll give it a 1.
I gave it a 1.
Yeah, it was not.
It wasn't.
It was not good.
No.
Yeah, when you think about 2.5 being half of 5.
Yes.
It's a 1. Yeah, it is a 1.
It's a 1.
You're right. It's a 1. So yeah, that was...
This is the only book I didn't make any notes on.
Yeah, it was the first book that I read because I used the wheel to pick what books that I read.
Oh, okay. No,
and I was like, The Staircase in the Woods. Okay, fine, we'll get this horror one out of the way. And then I was like, I think I texted you afterwards being like...
You're like, it was bad.
It was not good. I'm really sorry to Chuck Wendig. I also read The Crimson Road by A.G. Slatter. I say read. I DNF'd this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, 2 out of 2 for the horror so far.
It was not. I just was like...
Yeah.
I was confused. If you're gonna like throw someone into a world, I don't know, there's a way that you can throw people into a world. I've also just realised that I forgot to talk about another fantasy novel, which I'll swing back to.
Sure.
If you're gonna drop someone into a world, I feel like you can do it in a way where they're not like, what the hell?
Where am I?
What is happening? What is the system here? That was not this novel.
Okay.
I think I got... My friend Sam has a 50-page rule. If you're not enjoying it by 50 pages in, you can DNF it.
Okay.
Because there are other books in the world. And I think I got, 50 pages in and I was like, I don't care about this character.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on. I don't understand the world that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
You're just like, I don't need to be here.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I honestly could not tell you anything about it. Because...
Yeah, sure.
It starts with someone whose dad has died.
Okay.
And now people are contacting her being like, you need to go and get your brother who died like 13 years ago, who's stuck in this world. And she's like, no, he's not stuck. He died. But,
Odd.
But I just like had no context for any of it. And it wasn't enough to make me be like, oh, what's happening next?
Yeah.
So
okay. That's unfortunate.
That one.
But yeah, wasn't good then.
No, wasn't good.
Yeah. Did you read a third one?
No.
Oh, right. You got partway through Buffalo.
I got partway through Buffalo.
Yeah, you got halfway through Buffalo.
That's right. I got partway through Buffalo. Can I swing back up to my fantasy one that I forgot to talk about? The Devils by Joe Abercrombie.
Oh, yes, which I want to read.
This one was a 5-star read for me.
Great.
Solid 5-star read. Loved the characters. I swung between reading it and listening to the audiobook. And the audiobook was so fun because of the accents that the reader was giving. The narrator gave them all.
Yeah.
He is a bloody author.
Yeah.
There was
he is.
There was a lot of bloodshed. And he's also not precious about his characters.
No.
He will
absolutely not. He's very much in that.
La la la.
He's in that. He's from that vein of fantasy authors. He came up just after George R.R. Martin when it was like a thing to be grimdark, and it seemed to suit him very well.
Yeah. So I think it was hitting a lot of marks for me where it was grimdark, but it was also quite funny.
That's good. That's good.
It was an amusing jaunt. The premise of the book is that there's this group of people called the Devils. They are basically a bunch of heretics. The church keeps them like in a dungeon beneath beneath the ground, and they get brought out to do these like weird quests that you would not send anyone actually wholly on. Oh. So they're basically doing the dirty work for the church.
Cool.
And so they are sent on this quest to get this girl who has just found out that she's the long lost princess of Troy, to get her back to Troy. And It's
That
a
sounds
real
good.
romp. I
Yeah.
had a really good time. I found myself thinking about, what's going to happen next? You get to see it from the perspective of all of the different characters, all of the devils, one of whom's a werewolf. There's someone who has done every odd job that a person could possibly do in the world. We've got a knight who cannot die. You've
Cool.
got a monk who is trying to be in charge of these people who
Don't want to have a leader.
and who are just sort of like uncontrollable.
Yeah.
You've got a vampire, you've got a magician, and you've got a there's one more. No, can't remember. Anyway, there's a little squad of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and an elf. And she makes herself invisible, so it's very funny that I could not remember that she was there. And they're all, accompanying this princess back to Troy. There's, I would say, maybe 4 big battle scenes. I usually struggle to get through battle scenes, but I think because there were so many characters and I was invested in all of them, it was
Also,
fun.
he has practice
Yeah.
in that.
Yes, and I was reading some of the, the blurbs by other authors at the beginning of the book about his writing, and a lot of them were like, he loves a bloody fight scene.
Yeah.
So I knew it was coming, but I had a really good time, even though I'm not a huge fight scene reader.
Have you read anything of his before?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
That's interesting.
But it's
That's
made
cool.
me want to
Yeah.
read some of his other stuff, and I definitely am going to read The Heretics, which is the second book in the Devil series, which is coming out, I think, at the end of this year or early next year.
Yeah. I think I'll read that one too. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Really,
Cool.
really fun.
I'm glad it was 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars for me. Did you read, well, are we still on horror?
Horror. Yes.
Yeah.
King Sorrow.
King Sorrow. This is
5 stars.
5
so good.
stars. Okay.
This book was amazing. It's by Joe Hill, who, if you don't know, is Stephen King's son. This book was fantastic. I really, really liked it. It's massive. It's like 900 pages. So if you're not in for a doorstop,
Okay.
maybe give this one a miss. But it was so good. I have previously mentioned, I think, here that I didn't read a huge amount of fiction as a kid. I kind of started to get really into fiction when I was like 18. And one of the first novelists who I got very, very into was Stephen King. Reading Joe Hill is like reading old Stephen King.
Okay.
Stephen King goes through a couple errors, I guess you would call them, because he's written like over 80 novels. So you have his early books, which are his like very much the monster ones. You got things like Carrie, Salem's Lot, It, that kind of stuff. When he was also like on cocaine when he wrote them all.
Okay.
And then you have like a little period when he's sober. He gets hit by a van at one point.
Jesus.
Yeah, like he goes through a few changes.
Yeah.
His modern ones are quite different. This book was like reading old school Stephen King.
Okay.
It was so similar. If you said to me, this is a Stephen King book, and I read it, I'd be like, yes, obviously, this is a Stephen King book.
Okay.
It's set in the same universe as a lot of his other books as well.
Okay.
Like
as Stephen King's books?
King's books.
Ah, okay.
And he like takes some lines from Stephen King books and things like that. Like he references them a lot, which he didn't used to do as much when he was a bit younger. But I think he's kind of been like, I'm an established writer. I can reference my dad.
Yeah.
The concept of this book is there's a group of they're like mostly first or second year college students who live in like Maine, because all of his books are set in Maine, and they're being blackmailed by another group of teens, and they end up summoning a dragon to this world.
Classic.
And it becomes like, it starts off as this like revenge story, but then it moves forward because it turns out that the dragon's not on their side.
Okay.
And once every year it's going to come into their world and it's going to kill someone. They have to choose who it's going to kill, otherwise it'll kill them.
Okay.
And it's just so well done. The character relationships are amazing. Kind of like the inbuilt horror of having to be like sort of a murderer when you don't really want to is really, really compelling. I was hoping this book was going to win.
Yeah.
Mostly because this book is doing less than The Buffalo Hunter, but I think it executes perfectly.
Okay.
I think that the interplay between the characters, like there's a lot of discussions about like class in this as well. There's like a lot of prison stuff in this book as well, because one of the characters' mother's in prison during it, and it just lands so well. I mean, I will say this is probably, if you classified this as fantasy, I would be like, yeah, this is
Well,
also
yeah, when you
fantasy.
said that it has dragons in it, I was like, well, surely it's a fantasy book.
Yes, this is one of those things where it's like how Death of the Author ended up in the sci-fi category. It's because that's a sci-fi author. Joe Hill is a horror author. This one, it could be dark fantasy.
Yeah, okay.
It could very reasonably be dark fantasy.
Yeah.
It got classed with horror because it's like on that borderline between the two. It's amazing though. It was like, I had the feeling that I had when I was reading like an old Stephen King novel when I was quite young, and was like totally enthralled. And because this book really, it pulls you through those 900 pages.
Yeah.
Because that is a long book. It spans many years.
The fact that you were still invested.
Oh, I was invested the whole way.
Yeah,
Like,
yep,
invested
okay.
the whole way. And I really liked some of the characters. They were really interesting. The villain that wasn't the dragon was really quite interesting as well. He roots it really strongly in the modern world as well, because like it starts in the 90s and then they grow up with the tech, and you can actually feel the passage of time through it.
Yeah.
It's really good. I brought a copy with me. I'll show it to the camera later because it's so goddamn big. But I would highly recommend this if you want like a doorstop horror novel.
Yeah, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Alrighty, and novellas. You didn't read any other novellas, is that
No,
right?
I just read the one.
Wait, you had another horror.
I had one more horror,
Yes.
which I'll talk about very, very briefly. It was The Possession of Elba Diaz by Isabel Cañas.
Kanyas, I think.
I also read The Vampires of El Norte from her last year, which again didn't land.
Okay.
I
this
didn't
one
like
also
this
didn't
book.
land. Okay.
It's a historical horror, and I should enjoy these very much. I found the first half was too slow. They spent a lot of time talking about like silver mines in Mexico, because that's where it's based. It's set in like Mexico during the 1800s in a silver mine. They spend a lot of time talking about like alchemy and things like that. And they don't really start the horror till the second half, but then the second half felt very rushed. It's a possession horror as well, which again, I felt like I should have liked. It doesn't land. A lot of people liked this book. I think that this person's writing style just doesn't suit me. And they did also have a romance in this book. That was kind of the point of a lot of it, but
It didn't hit.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
It didn't feel convincing. As soon as they see each other, you can kind of see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of yearning, which some people like.
I like that.
I don't think it landed.
Okay.
But I read some of the reviews afterwards, and people were like, the yearning was so great. And I was like,
okay.
It's just mediocre yearning.
Yeah, okay.
Like, they could yearn harder.
Yeah. You can always yearn harder.
It was like, I gave it a 2.
A 2, okay, yeah. Okay.
You read other novellas?
I read other novellas. I read What Stalks the Deep, another T. Kingfisher book. I have read Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz, and I have also read Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. So What Stalks the Deep is the third book in the...
What Moves the Dead.
The What Moves the Dead.
Yeah.
The
Sworn Soldier, that's what it's called.
Sworn Soldier
Yeah.
series. Thought it was a great addition to the trilogy.
Great.
Perfectly readable. Like we said about the T. Kingfisher thing, it's always going to be solid. It's
Doesn't necessarily spark something amazing in you.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I thought it was a good addition. Enjoyed reading it. We'll probably continue reading that series if any more come out from it. Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz, about AI robots who run a noodle shop.
Yeah.
That was good. I think I gave it maybe 3 stars or 2.5 stars.
Yeah, it's kind of middling.
It was middling. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I think that some of the characters lacked depth. I think obviously when you're writing a novella, it's shorter. That's the whole point of it. The more characters you introduce, the flatter they are, because you can't explore
Inherently.
them. You can't really go into them in any great depth. So the more characters you introduce, the more backstories you introduce, the less deep you can get with them. So, I thought it was a very sweet found family story, which was what it was trying to be, I think. But it's not making its way onto onto like my favorites shelf anytime soon.
It wasn't a bad read.
It wasn't a bad read, but was, perfectly serviceable for what it was trying to be, which I think was a found family story about these robots trying to exist in an anti-robot, against anti-robot sentiment.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Got
then,
cool merch as well. They sell t-shirts.
Yes, it does have cool merch, which is very cute. And Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. I read this one a while ago. I read it because I love Olivia Waite. She has written a bunch of historical lesbian romance novels, which I've, of course, obviously read all of them.
Yeah.
So I read this one. It's like a sci-fi and...
Middle of the road?
Middle of the road, maybe a 2-star.
Okay.
Okay. Honestly, I'm now struggling to remember the plot of the book, which maybe means I should read it again, or maybe means I can just leave it.
Yeah, if you gave it 2 stars, it's probably
2 stars.
you probably don't need to read it again.
This is true. Yeah, I think. Look, I love novellas. I'm
Me too.
I'm a big fan of novellas. I think it's great to. A lot of them, I feel like a lot of novellas come out of short stories that the authors have written and had published in a lot of the like sci-fi fantasy magazines that come out.
Yeah.
So they've written that and then they're like, okay, it was very well received, and so they write a novella or they write a whole novel about it. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I think it's difficult to, or it can be difficult to explore the sorts of genre things that one has to explore in such a limited,
that's fair.
like a limited format.
Okay.
I'm also in the middle of reading Cinder House by Freya Marsh.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we've read quite a few of them.
Yeah, we've read a lot of them.
Now this video is 2 hours long.
Yeah, this is a long video.
Yeah. We'll cut it.
Will we?
Probably not. But yeah, so we managed to read all of the winners.
Yes, thank God.
We don't necessarily agree with all of the winners, but some of them we do. I'm looking at you, The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow.
Didn't read, but it sounds like it was better than everything I read.
I really loved it. Loved it. But yes, so our next challenge is going to be the Hugo Awards challenge. So we're going to try and read as many of the books on the nominees list as we can. For that one, I'm also keen to, you don't have to do this, but I'm keen to try and read some of the novelettes and short stories that have been published in like the magazines that have been nominated for, the magazines themselves have been nominated for awards, and the short stories and novelettes have also been nominated. So keen to read some of those as well, just because we have a little bit more time.
I did really enjoy this because it did force me to stay with books that I wouldn't normally read, and I kind of got more out of it than I expected.
Yeah.
And I liked a lot of them, even if I didn't like some of them as well. I am a bit harsher than you as well.
Yeah, I thought that I was harsh, but I think you are actually harsher.
I am harsher.
Maybe I need to be harsher. Maybe I need to do away with my 6-star system. No,
6 stars is good, because then it actually, like, that serves a purpose.
Yes.
I don't do 6 stars, but that's fine. But like, I'm more willing to give a low rating than you, I think.
Yeah.
Where I'd be like, this didn't.
I'm like, they tried really hard.
I'm sure they did, but like,
I appreciate the effort. You're
I
like,
bought their book.
Yeah.
I gave them the money, right?
What
I think of it now is up to me. I will quickly show you what King Sorrow looks like.
Yes.
It's goddamn huge. Look at this thing.
Damn.
Look at that.
That is a brick.
It's a brick. It's got good text though. Got, like, even then, it's like not even small anyway. It's got cool art.
Hefty.
Cool art.
Oh, it is nice.
But yeah, this is a hefty tome.
Yes. Awesome.
You should read it though, because it's cool as hell.
You heard it here first,
Cool
folks.
as hell.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it? It's too big. It's too big for you, isn't
I
it?
kind of do want to read it because you really sold it to me, but I feel like it's... My TBR grows every day, so I'm gonna put it at the bottom of my TBR. And if I'm like, I want to read the thing that James read.
Yeah, nothing at the bottom of a TBR ever gets read, but yeah,
it might. It might.
There are some things that are at the bottom of my TBR since like 2020.
I know. I need to go through and clear it out, honestly.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So well.
Awesome. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this challenge. Let us know in the comments if you agree with our ratings, rankings.
Don't be mean to me because I'm harsh.
If you have other opinions, if you agree with the winners, or if you think that something else deserved to win, if you have anything bad to say about The Everlasting, I actually don't want to hear it, so don't bother putting that in a comment. But yeah,
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you next time. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok as well.
Thanks.
All right, bye.